The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
It's time for the Robyn Fralick Show.
Underneath the rim to Van Sluten. She'll back up and bank it off the board for two. Out to Shoemate. Now Halleck, a right slot three. Bring it up! Darren Halleck hits a long ball. Shoemate wide open left wing three. Bring it up! The dagger from Emma Shoemate.
The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group, your independent insurance agency for home, auto, and life. The Robyn Fralick Show is also brought to you by One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Munn Team, Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors, realtors that get results. The MSU Federal Credit Union. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. And by Coors Light. Choose chill. Now, with head coach Robyn Fralick, here's the voice of Michigan State women's basketball, Dalton Shetler.
Welcome to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We are live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU Coaches Shows, make your reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. Glad to have you all here today. And, of course, glad, as always, to have the namesake of the show, Robyn Fralick. Give her a nice warm welcome, everybody.
Great to be here. Happy holidays, and a special shout out to my Aunt Mary Ann. So good to have you here.
How about that, Aunt Mary Ann? That's pretty awesome. And we got a lot in the building to talk about and a lot to celebrate today. But we have a lot to go over as well. Also in the building, want to mention and give a nice warm welcome to Amy Terrian, who will be joining us here in just a little bit up here on the stage. We'll get to know Amy a little bit more. There's a lot going on, of course. Big Ten opener now has come and gone. Between juggling that and the exam week coming up, it's a busy time for the student athletes.
It is. I mean, obviously a really disappointing loss against Wisconsin on the road. I thought a lot to learn from that game. And now we've got finals week, and then we head to DePaul this weekend.
I was going to say, and we'll talk a little bit about that Wisconsin loss when we come back here in just a couple of moments. But before we do that, we got to get some business done here, Robyn.
Yep.
You're leading off here.
Got it. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions, just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today, and let's win together on and off the court.
How about that? Robyn just does it all.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to congratulate you each time. That is a smooth read. This is the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group here on the Spartan Media Network.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Thank you very much for being here. Our first trivia question of the day is, earlier this year, Kennedy Blair set a career high with 12 assists in the win over Mercyhurst. Only one other Spartan on this roster has had a game in their career with 12 assists. Who would that be? Oh, we're 1 for 1 on the day. It's going to be a good day to Darren Halleck with 12 assists versus Central Michigan. Good job.
Coors Light is cold water, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
The holiday season has a way of taking you back in time. For me, the smell of wood burning in the fireplace, My mom filling the house with classic Christmas music from country legends, and the sight of my dad wrapping presents on Christmas Eve bring back the best holiday memories. It's those little memories filled with joy and love that make Christmas the most magical time of the year. I'm John Hazen, CEO at Boot Barn, and we're wishing you a Merry Christmas filled with joyful memories. Boot Barn, share the West.
Welcome back to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group here on the Robyn Fralick Show. Even Sparty knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is just a click away. All right, we mentioned we would talk a little bit about it. The Big Ten opener has come and gone. Robyn, as you said, a disappointing outcome for Michigan State on the road. 78-64, the Badgers get the win. You had some thoughts after this one in the postgame conversation. And one of the things that you had mentioned to me that I don't know if everybody else was able to hear as part of the radio broadcast was this is one of those games where you've got a couple of choices afterwards, and you can let this be a positive learning lesson that it encourages your growth, or you can spin the other way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll learn a lot about our team this week. Quite frankly, leading up to the Wisconsin game, I didn't think we practiced very well, and I think that how we practiced showed itself in that game. And, the most disappointing part was our defense. I mean, to give up 78 points and we knew the 3-point line was an important part of their offense. And, a player who averages 4 points a game had 15 points and 14 rebounds. So, defensively, we can absolutely we have to be better. We have to practice better. We have to get a toughness, a competitiveness. We have to have a readiness to play. We started the game and dug ourselves a hole from the first 2 minutes. So a lot of lessons learned, a lot of season left, and a lot of practice this week. So, as a staff, we're really excited for practice because I think we're going to learn a lot about our team.
There's a lot of opportunities there to work on yourself for this week. You brought up toughness, and I mentioned to you during the postgame conversation that I think a lot of times when you hear the word toughness, you automatically gravitate to rebounds, defense, those types of things. But it can even bleed a little bit into offense, and you felt that was the case in Madison.
Well, I think Coach Dino always says it best. Does your game travel? Does your game travel to the road? And those are things you can control every night. You're, rebounding, defense, communication. And I just thought we got down early and we haven't been in that scenario. And we played really impatient and we were trying to get home runs instead of just trusting that it's a 40-minute game and we got to dig in against a team that was really ready to play. The Big Ten, I think everybody was reminded again very loudly that the Big Ten play is different and there's a different readiness and a different precision to what we have to do. So it could be, I would say there's two things. It could be the best thing that happens to us. It could be the worst thing. And I think we get a choice around what that becomes.
That's pretty cool. I really love that perspective on it. Look, we talked about some of the things, not to sugarcoat, but there were a couple of positives too. I thought,
what were those?
Well, let me try a hand here. The growth you saw from the first half to the second half in turnovers. You had 10 turnovers in the first half, only 1 turnover in the second half.
Yeah.
Obviously there weren't enough in other areas, but you started to take care of the basketball a little bit better, like you've done.
Yeah. I mean, 1 turnover, but I would argue that we took a bunch of bad shots. So those are the same to me as turnovers. So I thought a bright spot was I thought Isa Alexander played really well. Came in and scored, finished at the rim, 12.7 rebounds, gave us a real physical presence. So hopefully we can keep building on that. But mostly things that have to be better.
That was the other card I had in hand. So Isa Alexander, you picked that one up. Matter of fact, that leads us to our broadcast call of the week.
Working off of it, feeds inside to Alexander. Goes up, the under, the bump, and the basket. Another and one for Michigan State. And Isa Alexander unleashes a roar. Spartans feeling a little bit of momentum. Cuts it to 8. Blair searching. Rainbows one over to Jalen Brown, who will track it down. Woodard looks to go high-low. Instead, she'll drive to the left block. Picks up the dribble, back out to Brown, top of the key. Inside, it's spun to Alexander. Up, the under. Oh, what a two by Isa. She's got 10, but she's cut it to 3 with 6:38 to play. 61-58. The up and under. Old trusty for number 12.
So there you go. Isa Alexander, a couple of buckets there in the third and fourth quarter, really gave MSU a lot of momentum with those plays. But, I mean, those were a couple of up and under moves. That up and under has really become pretty lethal.
Yeah, she's really learning, how to pivot with her feet and find angles to score. And something she does really well is she gets deep seals, so she does a good job of getting close to the rim. I think she's shooting almost 70% from the field.
Yep.
So we just got to work on those free throws. But, she's doing a good job of getting us easy baskets.
One of the things I did want to bring up here, too, there's actually two before we take a break. One, and look, it's not an excuse, but it is the reality. This was the second game without Theron Halleck, and you still have yet to play a game with Ines Sotelo this season. How are things a little bit maybe different in the absence with them?
Yeah, and, I think as a staff, we identified, too, like we're in a little bit of a gap of even our identity of how we play with Theron and Inez. And, Sarah's going to be back soon, too, of speed. That they're definitely players that add a huge dimension of speed to our group. And so we've kind of got to figure out while they're out how we need to adjust. And then when they come back, how we need to adjust. But, we only forced 11 turnovers?
Yes.
That's so not us. We're a way more disruptive team than that. But, with them out, we're missing a speed element. And, we'll be excited when we get that back.
On to your point, going into that game against Wisconsin, Michigan State was 6th in the nation with forcing 27 turnovers a game. So 11 was a bit off that mark. But one of the other things I wanted to bring up here too, Robyn, look, a lot of the folks here in the room actually had a chance to see at the Kohl Center. A lot of folks, the Fast Break Club didn't have a bus for this trip, but a lot of the members of the Fast Break Club and other fans made the drive to Madison, Wisconsin. Thought the fan support was awesome in the building.
We had as many fans as they did. So our fans were awesome. Thanks for showing up. I promise we will play better. We appreciate you guys showing up for us.
And, of course, a lot of the green and white contingent as well was also the Terrian family. And we'll get introduced to Amy Terrian in a little bit and see why there were so many Terrians in the building. But since we're talking about fan support, we're talking about making that drive, do want to let everybody know the Fast Break Club has some trips coming up this season. Of course, this weekend at DePaul, the trip will include downtime in downtown Chicago and also the German Christmas market before the game. There are a couple of spots still remaining for some of these trips. At Purdue on January 29th, that is an overnight trip. There are 3 spots remaining there. There are 5 spots remaining for the trip February 15th at Michigan. And today is the deadline to book your seat for some of those. You can find Mark Fleschner, who is waving his hand up there, and get with him and get reserved for some of those trips. But we talk about incredible fan support. I do want to mention this too, Robyn, and we'll actually break. Super fan that if you've been in the Breslin Center, you know her easily. You can identify her. Her spirit is unwavering. Stephanie, yesterday was her birthday.
Happy birthday, Stephanie.
How about that?
38.
She holds up. Happy birthday to Stephanie.
That's amazing.
Always love having her support and energy around the program. We're live from Lansing with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick, and our show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Trip for our bus trip. Yes, the only deadline is for DePaul, for today, just so everybody knows. Yes. And then I'm actually combining, I'm going to make it tough on you because, when we're 1 for 1, I have to add some things together. So I'm combining Trivia 1 and Trivia 2 and Trivia 3 questions. Just to make it a little tougher, see if I can trick anybody today. Last year, MSU set a record against DePaul for most blocks in a single game in school history. How many blocks did the Spartans tally? And this is my little twist. Who was the person that had the most blocks in that game? So, two-part question.
3 straight free throws on your buddies who argue every foul, celebrate every layup.
I heard half of the correct answer.
That's the beauty of it.
Oh, no. I heard a different.
The noise, the passion.
Yep, we have half of it. So whoever puts it together out loud, because we have Grace Van Slooten led us with 4 blocks.
Farm Bureau Insurance.
What was the school record? It was not 11.
With basketball coach Tom Izzo.
I'll give you a hint. Higher.
Experience includes a private dinner for one.
Higher, and we probably have 12 seconds left.
Coach Izzo,
13 higher.
A private tour of the Breslin Center. And autographed
Lower.
basketball from coach. Tickets to
What did I say? 14 and Grace Van Slooten. Who are you here? All right, good job.
Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
We are back live on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Whether your moves across town or across the nation, the MUN team can help. Whether you're in the market to buy, sell, or both, check out the MUN team online at munteam.com. Jan and John Munn, serving buyers and sellers since 1985. They're realtors who get results. All right, folks. Help us in welcoming in the freshman from Pewaukee, Wisconsin, number 24, Amy Terrian. Give a nice warm welcome. Amy, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate you guys having me.
We've been really excited for this. And, Amy, you do know how these start, right, when a guest comes on with us?
No, maybe?
Maybe we can break her into this, too.
Okay.
1 more minute is how we begin all of these.
Okay.
So for the standings this season, we actually have a stopwatch. We are upgrading and elevating our game a little bit around here. I appreciate that, Chris. What we do is we put 60 seconds on the clock. It'll start once we finish asking the first question, okay? It's rapid fire. You see how many questions you can answer. They're all about you. And we don't have the answer key to you, so there's a gray area. If you don't know, you can get an answer. If you don't have an answer, feel free to pass. Our standings right now, Jaylen Brown with 22, Rashonda Jones with 21. That's where the bar is set. Does that intimidate you, or you feel confident?
We'll try our best. We'll give you that.
This might be the least amount of confidence I've seen Amy have, Robyn. She's always energy and confidence.
She'll be ready.
She's ready. She's taking the humble approach.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. I would be rich if I had $1 every time Robyn said blank.
Rebound.
Favorite athlete?
My brother Josh.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
See the good in everything.
What's your most used emoji?
White heart.
You have to sing karaoke. What song do you pick?
Brown eyed girl.
Favorite drill at practice?
Cash money.
You can have dinner with one person in the world. Who would it be?
Jesus Christ.
Are you a traveler or homebody?
Homebody.
Would you rather get a bucket or a block?
Bucket.
Go-to coffee order?
Don't drink coffee.
Funniest person on the team?
Kennedy Blair.
Surprising item on the bucket list?
Pass.
What toppings are on your ideal pizza?
Sausage and black olives.
What's your favorite animal?
Fish.
Favorite movie?
My All-American.
Best dancer on the team?
Isa.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
Cat or dog person?
Neither.
Favorite musical artist?
Brandon Lake.
You can only eat one thing the rest of your life. What is it?
Spaghetti pie.
If you weren't playing basketball, what would you be playing?
Tennis.
Biggest hobby?
Puzzling.
Favorite sports team?
Bucks.
And she got it just before the horn.
Let's go.
Let me total these up. All right, my handwriting is so bad. We only had one pass there, correct? One pass? Okay. So we got 22 from Amy Terrian. She tied up Jaylen Brown, so she's atop the leaderboard. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it very much. Look at that. The freshman steps up in a big moment. Gets it done there. Nice work, Amy.
Appreciate it.
There's a lot to dive into. Your favorite animal is a fish?
Yeah. I actually don't like animals, and so I do like fish, though.
What do you have against animals?
I don't know. I grew up with dogs, and they just knew not to come by me, so I had a pet fish. It didn't last too long, but I love fish. Like, if I'm going to the zoo, I'm going to go see the fish.
Robyn, that is one of the more unique answers we've had on this program.
I had no idea. Learn something new every day.
Well, let's talk a little about Amy Terrian, the start she's had of the season. Let's start with what the weekend was for the Terrians, because it was a moment where, talking with Amy before the game, as said, is it where the last person in Pewaukee turns the lights off and locks the doors and comes over to Madison? And that kind of was the case. There was, north of 100 people, your dad Mark said, there for from Pewaukee to see the game?
Yeah, I had to get 41 tickets, so I was like asking everybody. But no, I took a moment just to look up, and I think I was just grateful. Each one of those people had something really important in my life when I was back home, and they still do, and just the impact they've had on me and my sister, it's really special.
That is really, really cool. It was neat to see so much green and white there in the building. 63 miles from the Kohl Center is Pewaukee, Wisconsin, so they made the drive over there. Well, as we get into Amy's background a little bit here, Robyn, what would you tell the folks, a first impression of who Amy Terrian is?
A joyful competitor. She loves to compete. She brings an enthusiasm and an energy into every space she's in. Really fun to be around, fun to coach. High belief in herself that she works, that she earns through really hard work.
Well, and I would ask you, Robyn, when you go out recruiting, I mean, look, Amy has a very stout, prolific high school background resume. She was Miss Wisconsin basketball. We'll talk a little bit about some of the things she accomplished in high school. But you see a lot of talented players. What stood out to you about Amy that you said you wanted to bring her to East Lansing?
Her love of playing. I think actually loving to play basketball is such an important quality. A lot of times kids play it, or maybe they grew up playing it, or people told them to play it. Amy loves it. She loves the game and that joy that she brings. And, I always say never be too cool to play the right way. And I think of, like I shared at the Bahamas, in the Temple game, we're up a lot. And there's one defensive possession left, and she's chanting to the whole team, "One stop!" Just this real belief about playing the game the right way.
That really is pretty special. Amy, what attracted you to Michigan State?
So a lot of things. I'd say the coaching staff. They recruited me in 9th grade, and ever since that, just who they are, what they stand for, what they believe in, and their morals. I wanted to be a part of it. And I mean, Coach Fralick is something special. The way she leads us. She's a competitor, even though she's not physically on the court, and I wanted to be a part of it. And then everything that happened with my sister down here, I think it was just God saying this is home, and how they supported us through that was really special, and just the way they play the game, and it was special too. So
I was going to say, we'll have you share some of the story with you and your sister here in a little bit, but we said it's a pretty prolific high school resume. 1,812 points at Pewaukee High School. 462 rebounds, 464 assists, 336 threes, 286 steals. I think you left with every single record, didn't you?
I do not get 2,000 points.
I only got 4 years, Coach. Yeah, I actually didn't know until my senior banquet when Coach Reuter told me. And I did, as a senior and years coming up, we had to kind of give a speech, and something I said was, "Your legacy is not defined by the numbers you left." And I had no idea writing that before that I broke every single record. I was like, oh, this is kind of cliche that it happened. But I truly believe that your legacy was not defined by your numbers, and it's more about, how you treated people, and just the impact you left on your teammates. And that was something that I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should take that out, but it's all right. We went through it, so.
It worked out.
It worked out.
And you said your high school's coach's name was Reuter. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Reuter.
Yep.
Jim Reuter. And it was reading an article, and I forget actually what the publication was now to give credit, so my apologies. But he had mentioned when talking about Amy, when she had finished her prep career, her work ethic was unmatched. Besides everything else, the work ethic was unmatched. Do you feel that too, Robyn?
Oh, yeah, she loves it. She loves it. Yeah, she works hard at it. High-level competitor. But I think it all stems from the fact how much she loves to play. So she's a kid that's in the gym all the time.
Well, let's talk of putting a bow on the high school resume. 108 wins in high school. Your freshman year, you lose in the state championship game. Sophomore year, you lose in the state championship game to the same team. Junior year, you meet the same team for a third time, but your sister, and Pewaukee gets the win in that state title game. What was that journey like?
It was a long journey. We'd always start with playing Notre Dame was the team we lost to the first game of the season, and then it for the last 3 years ended the same way, playing them. And so I didn't know it was going to be a huge rival, but it became. And after losing that sophomore year, that was tough. I mean, I thought we definitely we came in with a great battle plan and just didn't execute to what we needed to. And then I remember that summer, a bunch of my high school teammates played on my AAU team, and we were going through the AAU season, finished the AAU season, and we looked at each other and goes, this is going to be the year. And we get in the gym all the time. And I mean, we had Notre Dame's name like circled, like on the first game and the last game, because we knew it was going to be them. I mean, they were a talented program. Sarah Rhodey did an amazing job with them. And we started the season on the road against them, and we beat them 60-52. It was a crazy second half. Probably shouldn't have won the game, had 2 really bad defensive possessions. And then we got to the final season, ended the same way, us playing them, and turned them over the first 7 possessions, which was just outrageous because they took the ball really good, took care of the ball. The game before against Tulsa East, they had the most assists in program history, and so came out and just played with the tenacity. They had made a run in the end of the first half, and we came back in the second half and punched them. But it was crazy because it was 60-52 the first game, and we finished the year 60-52 against them in the second game.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was like, if it wasn't meant to be my junior year, I don't know what I would have done. And then I think the most I learned from that is we came in my senior year, we had everybody returning, and we had about every injury you could possibly think of. And so I came in thinking, all right, well, we're going to go back-to-back. But it really showed me just how much you just have to love the opportunity you step on the court every single day. I had 2 ACLs. I had a meniscus with teammates. I had a back injury, and all kids that played vital roles. So we were in the middle of the season, and we felt like we were in the beginning of the season. We had 9, 10, 11 starting for us, which was crazy. And so it just really showed me that every time you step on that basketball court, you have to just be grateful for it because anything could happen. And so my senior year was definitely grew my leadership skills, but definitely something that looking back helped me grow to get here too. So
it feels like we talk about the seriousness she takes this with. She still might have the scouting report in mind from that game.
Yeah.
That's down to every detail. Real quick, I do want to ask you too, because I do want to talk about some Michigan State related things. That publication that I read that article in said you actually, when you first started your career at Milwaukee, went to, you're smiling already, I think you know where this is going.
Yeah.
You accidentally went to the JV gym.
Yeah, I did.
So this legacy career may have never even happened because you accidentally walked in to be a JV player at first.
Yeah, I did. I remember walking in. I mean, I was a freshman. I just followed my freshman friends. There was only 6 of us. So we walked into the gym, and before you know it, we start warming up, and it was my first reaction of Coach Jim Roeder. He goes, "What are you 2 doing?" And we're like, I don't know. Just walked in the gym expecting to practice. He goes, "Get over here." I thought he was going to hate us for the rest of the years, but no, it was definitely something that we laugh about it since to this day. And he definitely didn't know us. He could not tell us apart for that moment, but the whole first year, he was like, twin over there, twin over there. It took him forever to figure it out. And he was a good sport about it. And then about my sophomore year, he finally figured it out. But it was so funny.
We got to talk about some of the twin things. Robyn, has that happened to you yet? Were you able to pick up Amy and Anna right away?
Actually, I feel like I can very much tell them apart.
Yeah?
Yeah, but over recruiting them over a while, once you get to know them, they're actually pretty distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. Well, let's talk a little bit about
Yeah.
them. We'll get a break in. You mind sticking around for one more?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll get to you a little bit more about Michigan State and your sister Anna when we come back with more of the Robyn Fralick Show presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to
It was not Abby.
be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union.
It was not Theron.
To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3.
It was not Julia.
You love saving money and earning cash back.
Emma Shoemate hit 4 threes. Good job.
To your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Thanks for joining us for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. All right, real quick, let's take a look at the Abood Law Firm, who's proud to support and sponsor the Beyond the Arc campaign. Abood Law Firm will donate $25 for each Spartan three-pointer to the Izzo Legacy Foundation. Thank you to the Abood Law Firm for supporting the Izzo Legacy Foundation. And with Michigan State women's basketball, 87 threes now made this year. That's $2,175 just from the women's program. That's going there to the Izzo Legacy Foundation. Excellent work there from the Abood Law Firm. A lot of those threes, Robyn, comes from the flamethrower sitting up here on the table. Amy Terrian has been able to knock down quite a few for your squad so far.
She has. She can really shoot it. She doesn't need much space, and she's got a lot of confidence on the catch. So we're going to hope for more.
Yeah, I was going to say, as ridiculous of a number as this sounds, Amy Terrian so far this year is shooting 55% from three-point range early on this year. Absolutely clap it up for that. Excellent work being done by Amy. Have you always been a shooter, Amy?
Yeah.
Just born with it?
After playing my brothers in the driveway, I realized I probably can't attack 6'3" too much more, so I just decided to shoot it.
Why go in there when those are worth 2 and these are worth 3?
So, I just shot the ball out of it and kept working on it.
Well, and your brother Josh plays at Michigan Tech, and I know we have some Husky contingent on the staff. There's Kim Cameron with a fist pump. I don't see Maria Kaz, but Kaz would have certainly let out a roar for that one.
Yes.
But Huskies out to an 8-1 start. Your brother Josh has started every game. Things are going pretty well for the Terrians.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely one of the hardest workers I know, humble guy, and just he's the glue guy of the team, and it's been awesome to watch him play and just excel, and he's doing great things up there in Houghton.
Well, I do want to ask you here, too, because you mentioned that you took a visit to Michigan State and you were stuck there, and how much the Spartans meant to you, how they took care of you and your sister Anna, a couple of twin sisters. Don't know if everybody's privy to the story, but that sequence and what that means to you and to Anna.
Yeah, so it was between the times in AU where we played in July, had about a week off and played in another tournament in July, and so we took a visit here, and Anna is one of the most hardworking, healthy people that we've had, and just was sleeping a ton, which is not her, and then just drinking a crap ton. Like, we're a family, guys. Like, we're gonna make one stop, we're gonna use the bathroom, we're gonna get food, and we're gonna get back on the road. Like, we're gonna
you
keep
better
going.
not go to the bathroom again.
Nope. Well, we were stopping like every 15 minutes, and we're like, what the heck? And like, I'm over here like, come on, like, I just want to keep going. Like, we're stopping everywhere. And so we're about to take a visit to Michigan State the next morning. My mom's like, I don't think this is good, and like takes her into like this like walk-in clinic. And this is my mom's like gut feeling. And I'm like, all right, well, make sure you're back by like 9 a.m. Like, by the latest, we cannot be late. Like, if you know anything, I hate being late. I'm like, Mom, make sure you're back. It's like, oh, it can't be that short or that long. And I was like, okay. Run all these tests on her, and then the doc goes, no, we're just going to run one more. And they prick her finger and goes, "Oh no." And I was like, "Okay." And it didn't read. She was at like 680 was her blood sugar. And doc's like, "You probably should have been in a coma." I was like, "Oh, okay." And so rushed her then to Sparrow Hospital, and by that time I got to call them and be like, well, we're going to the hospital, and they were really supportive and everything. And we spent like 4 days in the ICU with her, learning everything, and then 2 more days on another wing, so we were about a week in the hospital. And at that point we're like, all right, well, we probably should just ask them if we can come on a visit, and they were so willing to. And yeah, so we went on a visit, and Ann and I were like, all right, it's either a really, really cool place with great people, or it was just because we spent a week in the ICU. Like, I mean, guys, this room probably was as big as this table. Like, it was tiny, and we spent a week in there, and all these doctors coming in and everyone informing us, how to pretty much live a life now. It's such a different lifestyle. But Anna's been a trooper. And so we get done with this visit, and we're like, all right. At that time, we're still playing AAU, and I'm like, Anna, like, I really like that school. So we came back to another visit, and I'm like, we went through, we still had to see academics, that's important, a couple other things. And I'm like, I walked into the bathroom after practice, Anna was in there too, and I looked at her, and we didn't have to say a single thing. Didn't have to say a single thing, and we knew exactly what it was. So I texted Bree, and we showed him a video, and that was how I committed. But it was such a cool, I think, moment, because I think when you look back on it, it just shows you, like, God puts you in a place and gives you situations to see what you're truly made of, and then how it just fully connected with being in the hospital to now, putting on that uniform. I remember that first game against Michigan Tech, like, I looked at Ann and said, like, this is real. Like, you in the hospital, in the ICU, like, did not think you were going to play basketball again. And asked the question, why? Like, why? And I vividly looked at her, and she's done so much for the type 1 diabetes, community, and it is just amazing. I looked at her and go, this is the reason why. Like, to go through so much adversity day in and day out. I don't think people realize what she goes through. And what amazes me about her is she can wake up all hours of the night, not sleep, and then, check her blood sugars, be high and low all day. But what amazes me about her, she shows up for everyone else. Like, she cares so deeply about everybody on this team, on this staff. And, like, she could have the worst day ever, no one would know, and she still shows up. And that is what literally amazes me about her every single day. And I think it definitely has showed me, much more about, who she is, but more about, like, every circumstance you're in, you have 2 decisions to make. Sitting in the ICU, she had 2 decisions to make. Is she going to let this disease define her, or is she going to use it for his good? And if you ask me, and I think everybody, even ask Coach Fralick, I think she's used it for his good.
How awesome is that? What a great story there from Amy. We're pushing up against a break, so I'm sorry our time's getting a little bit short. But Robyn, I wanted to mention to you too, these 2 twins are so close together, and you hear it there from that testimonial from Amy. But the bond that they share, it really is something pretty cool.
Twin power. And it's cool. They're absolutely best friends. They are there for each other, but more importantly, they're there for other people. And they got matching pigtails to top it off. So yeah. No, it's really awesome to watch 2 siblings, 2 sisters be so close.
A last question for you, Amy, before we let you go. You and your sister Anna, do you have any legendary stories of trying to prank people with this twin skill set you have?
Not really. I would say the biggest one is my dad couldn't tell us apart for 4 years. Shout out, Mark. I hope you're listening back home, so now everybody knows. But I, like Coach Fralick
He's just
said,
like, I just love you both.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. I would
equal.
just say once you like get to know us, like we're very different.
Yeah.
And so like even Coach Claire told me the other day, like the way you like walk in the weight room,
Yeah, you
like
can
just
tell.
your walk, like
Yeah.
you can tell. And so, but I would say like my dad probably.
He can tell apart now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
sometimes. I'm really, pretty good.
Everybody give it up for number 24, Amy Terrian. Amy, thank you so much.
Appreciate
This is
you
terrific.
guys. Appreciate you.
The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We'll be back with more after a break here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
A 24-month ultra-low mileage lease for $189 per month with $33.29 due at signing on a 2026 Sierra light-duty elevation crew cab 4x4 with a 2.7-liter engine. Must be a current lessee of a 2020 model year or newer Buick or GMC vehicle through GM Financial for at least 30 days prior to the new vehicle sale. Tax, title, license, dealer fees extra. No security deposit required. Mileage charge of 25 cents a mile over 20,000 miles. At participating dealers only. Residency restrictions apply. Visit gmcofferinfo.com for details.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. This unique experience includes a private dinner for one winner and 3 guests with Coach Izzo. The winner also receives a private tour of the Breslin Center, an autographed basketball from Coach, tickets to a future home game, and more. For more details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Diversified Insurance Group presents the Robyn Fralick Show. Hey, by the way, frankly, you'll want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all of our Spartan Media Network affiliates. Presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting fmins.com. Now time for our Alumni Hall Trivia. Today's winner will receive tickets to the next home game and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Thanks to all for participating in Alumni Hall Trivia. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. We've asked a couple of questions with the next game on deck being DePaul. Last year, Michigan State beat DePaul 89-61. Spartans had 4 different players in that game in double-figure scoring. The one question we have not asked during all these different commercial breaks, as Kim Cameron does her in-house emceeing with the trivia, we've not asked who was the leading scorer in that game for Michigan State. Who was the leading Spartan scorer against DePaul last year? If you think you have the answer, head on over to that microphone. We'll see if you win a couple of tickets and a gift card to Alumni Hall. While we wait on that, though, Robyn, and before we get to our next break, because we are up against it a little bit, I did want to bring this up at some point during the show, given the relationship they have with the women's basketball program. But Greg and Dawn Williams pledging $401 million to Michigan State University. It's an unbelievable gesture. Yeah. So kind. I know Dawn hangs around and has a relationship with you. She's around the program quite often. Greg had a very impactful story during his press conference about how the women's program and the games at the Breslin Center gave he and his daughter a chance to connect in ways that wasn't afforded to them in other ways. Yeah. This donation, this move from the Williams, it's unbelievable. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, incredible generosity, transformational. You know, one of the things that really resonated with me during the presentation was Coach Izzo sharing how this impacts his grandchildren, you know, and I thought of my children and I thought of all of the people in this community that will be positively impacted, all the student athletes, their experience, just incredible generosity. In fact, it's what we talked about before the game. against Wisconsin, which maybe I won't talk about again since that doesn't. But just the generosity, you think about during the holiday season comes in so many forms. It's resources, it's money, it's time, it's volunteering, it's words. There's just so many ways we can do it. And one of my favorite things about generosity is it's contagious, right? When you see other people being generous, there's this cycle of generosity that's created. So incredible gift at Michigan State Athletics, a huge impact for so many people.
And just a huge thank you from MSU women's basketball and all of MSU athletics to the Williamses. Let's clap it up for Greg and Dawn Williams. $401 million. Spartan fans, carry the only colors in your wallet with an MSU FCU Visa credit card featuring the iconic Spartan helmet. Earn cash back on purchase and show your pride with every swipe. Visit MSUFCU.org today. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union. We come back. Let's get an answer on this trivia question. And we'll be talking about the week ahead with DePaul. We're live with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick. And today's show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
On the court, the MSU women's basketball team shows us the power of teamwork and dedication. Off the court, Diversified Insurance Group brings that same commitment to protecting what matters most. As an official partner of Michigan State University Athletics, we're proud to stand with the Spartans. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today and let's win together on and off the court. Go green, go white, go MSU women's basketball.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
We are back with more Spartan basketball on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. When you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. All right, let's talk about what is next for Michigan State here, Robyn. It is a trip to Chicago to take on the DePaul Blue Demons, 2-8 on the season. They're 0-2 in the Big East. If you all want your own scouting reports, they play Thursday night against UMass Lowell at 7 o'clock Eastern time, so feel free to check them out on ESPN Plus if you wish. But they're led by Kate Novick, 13 points per game. They've had a bit of a change. Last year, Jill Pizzotti ended up being the interim coach. Now she's been elevated to be the full-time head coach after Doug Bruno has retired, who's iconic in the women's basketball game. But your early take and look at DePaul.
So Novick is kind of a versatile forward. They pressure. They do a lot of 4-round-1 with the high post, kind of like a 41 with a high post action. So they get up and pressure in the full court, force turnovers. They turn it over a lot. So, after Wisconsin, I think right now we're just mostly focused on us for a few days, which we need to get back on track. We need to get better. And then obviously DePaul is going to be a different look than what we saw against Wisconsin, but definitely a team that pressures more and has a lot more sort of space, attacks the rim.
You know, it's interesting. Before the season, you and I had a conversation because it said, look, in year one of your time here in East Lansing, you set a record for the most threes made and for the most points scored. You hit 283 threes and you scored 83 points a game. Last year, you set a record for the most steals in program history with 389. And I asked you, did you know before the year that those teams had that capability or that they would become that? You said no. Typically, you get about a month in of data, and then you start to figure it out. I know coming off the heels of that game against Wisconsin might maybe shake some things, but do you have a better idea of who this team is?
Not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Still needs more data, more time?
We didn't steal the ball. We didn't make any threes. I mean, I'm in a bad mood. So Wisconsin was I think our identity from Wisconsin was bad basketball. So hopefully we can figure out how to play some good basketball. And as I said, as some of these kids come back, it's going to change our identity again. And, you know, we like to be disruptive. We've got to get back to figuring out how to do that better.
Well, we won't sink into bad mood, but, you know, one of the things that I get asked a lot when
we didn't steal it, we didn't make threes, we didn't guard anyone, so I'm not sure what we're on track for.
So based off of that answer you just heard, a lot of times when I jump on different programs and they ask about MSU women's basketball and they say, what's something people don't know about Robyn Fralick? And I'm like, well, everybody knows that she's very polite, very kind, very class act. I don't think everybody from the outside knows how ultra competitive you are. So that bad mood you're feeling, it stems from that ultra competitiveness.
Yeah.
Where did that start for you?
I don't know. I mean, for better or for worse, I have an older brother. Sports have always just been part of who I am. You know, it's funny. I woke up, we played Sunday and I woke up Monday and I was like, I absolutely feel worse on Monday. And I woke up today and I was like, I think I feel worse on Tuesday. So, but a good task in front of us to figure out how to get better.
I was going to say, and we've made it just about 51 minutes through without suffering.
You're asking me what our identity is. I'm like, bad basketball right now. So hopefully we find something that we're good at and do it a little better.
Well, let's look at the perspective then of the opportunities, because oftentimes when we talk about macro level of just coaching, the impact you have, you say watching players grow and watching them become who they are.
Yeah.
Those all have to have a starting spot. This could be an origin start for it.
Sure. We've got a lot of growth.
But that journey, what does that entail to grow and have that ride?
Well, I mean, a season's long and there's so much to learn, and the best teams are good learners and the best teams take feedback and get better. The best players are coachable. So we've got a lot of, growth in front of us, and it's not the end of the world, but it could be the beginning. It could be the beginning of a good story. So we've got some decisions to make around that.
It'll be a lot of fun to see the next challenge coming up this Sunday. We're here live from One North Kitchen and Bar, East Lansing, for all the Spartan Coaches shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. We'll be back with more from Coach Fralick, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting "shoot it," and the driveway heroes who still call raindrops on every brick. Make fun of a ref through the TV like he can hear you, then miss 3 straight free throws on your buddy's hoop. Argue every foul, celebrate every layup, and somehow think you're running the offense from Section 312. But that's the beauty of it. Basketball isn't just about the court, it's the noise, the passion, and the Labatt you're holding while you live it. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Here's a tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Tell Good RX Rodin, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name beds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Yard 2.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Thanks for joining us and the Spartan fans here at 1 North for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. By the way, we still do need to get an answer for our Alumni Hall trivia. Do we have a guess for our Alumni Hall trivia? We do. Okay, our question, last year when Michigan State defeated DePaul 89-61, who was the leading scorer for the green and white? Your name, where you're from?
Robyn McCrimmon, and I'm from Bath.
Okay, and your answer?
Julia.
It was not Julia, but it's a good guess. She was close. Well, let's see if we get a buzzer beater answer up here. A clue, she is from Houston, Texas, is hometown. Houston, Texas. All right, here's Mark Fleshner immediately ready for that. Jaden Simmons is correct. We'll get you a couple of tickets, Mark, and a gift card. Excellent work there by Mark. Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. For details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics. All right, for Michigan State women's basketball, next up, it's a road trip to the Windy City. We talked about it a little bit. Taking on DePaul, it's a 5:30 tip Eastern time. We'll be taking the airways at 5:15. We'll be on WVFN 7:30 a.m. for that one. Robyn, you said the week ahead until we get to that spot.
Yeah.
A lot of the focus is more on yourself rather than DePaul.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to accomplish between now and game time?
We got to get better defensively. We got to do a better job moving and sharing the ball. I thought we played really just easy to guard offense. Defensively, we weren't sharp. So both sides of the ball, rebounding continues to be important, and kind of getting back to playing tough and together. You know, I think one of the number one things is like completing what you start, you know, and that starts in practice, not just sort of getting things, but finishing things.
And just to follow up on that, finishing, does that mean individual reps, or is that
drills, competing, going against our scout guys? There's plenty of challenges we put in front of them at practice, and we have to get better at finishing it.
And I do want to ask you here too, because it is exam week, juggling a moment where you're trying to really work on yourself as a team, but those exam schedules, is that a difficult terrain for you and the staff?
Yes and no. I mean, we just adjust our practice times, but to be honest, most of them are done with. These finals aren't like the finals I had. They've got, you know, presentations, papers. I had like 6 comprehensive blue book exams. Now that was a long time ago. And these are good students, and our kids really care about school, and this is a great school, but they're going to be just fine with their finals.
Duly noted.
So we can practice hard. Yep.
What a time it is to be a student athlete.
I had the blue book. I don't know if I had blue book and pencil.
Well, that'll do it for us on this edition of the Robyn Fralick Show. Big thank you to Chris Ordaway, our audio engineer here today, our producer in the Skyview Studios, Matt Contreras Valenzuela, on the video stream producing, Emma McEwen. Big thanks to Kara Fisher, Abby Knack, for the entire coaching staff for all their help. And a big thank you to all of you for joining us here in person, or if you listened, wherever you listened from. Thank you all so much. One final time for head coach Robyn Fralick. I'm Dalton Shetler. So long, and go green.
Go green.
You've been listening to the Robyn Fralick Show on the Spartan Media Network from Playfly Sports. The Robyn Fralick Show has been presented by Diversified Insurance Group, your independent insurance agency for home, auto, and life. The Robyn Fralick Show was also brought to you by 1 North Kitchen and Bar, making good times